Let's go.
S7ven Spades versus Parallax is going to be our first match on the docket, and we'll start things off by taking a look at the S7ven Spades roster. Got a lot of new players stepping up to the plate for the first time here on the main channel, and I think this team is no exception to that. Noski, Carlito, Mean, Motive, and Sonar makes out the rosters of players that up until this point primarily only have experience on things like Go4 Cups.
Yeah, I actually spoke to this team not too long ago, and S7ven Spades, speaking of Noski, he's an entry roamer, and his playstyle, he says, is pretty passive compared to other players. So bringing in that different type of playstyle, I wonder if that's going to be successful tonight.
I think in general, if we see a passive team come out from either one of these rosters, it'll be a bit surprising, considering the nature, from my experience anyway, that we've seen a lot of new teams adapt into it. But speaking of other new teams, we've also got Parallax Gaming stepping up to the plate here in the semifinal. They're going to consist of Crymagic, Fahood, Bravadog, along with Malfano and Blarn to round out their roster. They had quite a few other players on the roster too, so I think they are switching players in and out and whatnot, but this should be a formidable one at best to try and take down S7ven Spades in our best of one tonight.
So, Blue, you're a phenomenal play-by-play caster. Seeing these names and how long it takes to pronounce them, I can't wait to see you get tongue-tied in the final moments of the round. It's gonna
we do our best.
But seeing these two teams, we don't hear about them at all. And seeing them come this far in the game is actually phenomenal. And let's take a look at the map bans and picks. I was talking to Uzumaki. Shout out to Uzu. You're actually the man. He's done his research, and he was telling me, the ins and outs of these teams. S7ven Spades, he says that their best map is definitely Coastline. If they go there, it's going to be a problem.
Well, I think they might be in luck for this evening then, because the map that we're going to be playing on is...
Okay.
Coastline.
Good luck, Parallax.
Almost like we knew. But Coastline is indeed going to be the map that we'll jump into to start tonight off on. I think it's going to be a pretty comfortable map for both of these teams, considering the kind of stature that they position themselves at right now. It's a map that allows for a lot of free flow, especially on the attacking side.
Yes.
And I think that there's a lot of things you can get away with on this map that you can't necessarily do on any of the other 6 in the pool.
Yes, and even though I'm not familiar with these two teams, they're familiar with each other. And speaking to them, Blarn actually says Noski is the ultimate baiter, and Parallax Gaming, they seem to be extremely confident in this matchup. So let's see if they're all about that talk that they had.
We got the smack talk going. We don't even have the players here.
Well, they said a lot. Malfano actually told me.
Let's hear it. Come on.
Malfano,
we need to adapt the storyline.
Malfano from Parallax Gaming, excuse me, Parallax Gaming, he says, S7ven is trash. I've been clapping them since 1989. So listen, if you lose tonight, we're roasted. We're roasted. Because if you're going to come up with that type of trash talk, I want to see you bring it on the playfield. This is what it's all about. And if you do win after all that trash talk, let's see if you're going to have that type of, that energy against Dark Zero or Space Station Gaming.
That's going to be the tough match, of course. But let's take a look at the community poll and see what you folks at home thought of this matchup and who's going to take it. Very close, as you might expect, but Parallax Gaming has the slight edge by just about 4% over their opponent. That is the closest community poll we have had all stage 2. To be fair, though, we've only had 3 matches on the stream until this point, but it is the closest, so it wins that honor for tonight.
And I feel like us going to Coastline is going to be good for everybody, us casting and the 2 teams playing, because this map, you can bring so many different playstyles, verticality, but adaptability is going to be the name of the game. Which team can adapt, especially at the level that they're currently at? They probably don't have a lot of film on each other at this level, even though they do have experience. So I really want to see how the strategies are going to be, especially since S7ven Spades has pretty much of a passive play style compared to what we see for these teams.
Well, part of that free-flowing nature of the matchup will include operator lineups. This is one of the few maps that doesn't necessarily require a hard breacher on the large majority of this sites, meaning that teams are a lot more free to play around with that 5th slot by either adding another flex or some type of other roamer or something like that to the lineup as well. And we'll see how this pans out as we are getting into the ban phase of our first map of the night, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at who's going to get knocked out here first. Mind you, we are on the new patch now, which means, first of all, we've got Mozzie and Gridlock in play, and that means they are bannable. Also, Lion has been let out of his cage. He's back in the arena, so he is also an option for the ban phase here. Blackbeard, though, going to be the first getting knocked out. Not a ban we see too often anymore.
We see him banned a lot on ranked, especially on this map, because when he's on Repel, he's just a pain, especially towards billards. You don't want to deal with him at all. And with Jackal being banned, it's pretty self-explanatory. His ability is phenomenal. Being able to track out roamers is ideal. And with Maestro being banned as well, that's a give me. Especially on the aquarium side, the builders and hookah setup, he's a problem.
But we'll see, because that leaves the possibility for someone like Echo to be locked in if S7ven Spades wants to attempt to knock out someone like a Valkyrie here.
Yeah.
It really depends on the direction they want to go, obviously, because it is the self-handicap ban, so they're also going to have to deal with it too. And they're going to choose to knock out Mira, which aligns more commonly with what we see at top-level play too. But it is interesting, especially when you see Jackal getting knocked out, because there's, like, for anti-roam, it seems like that there was like some better options for the ban recently, like Nomad and whatnot. So it seems specifically they don't just want to deal with Jackal. So we'll see how well other operators that can do the same job, like Nomad and to a certain extent Gridlock, can fulfill that role.
So, with Maestro being banned and Echo being in play, Blarn instantly went on IQ, which is great because IQ is an instant counter towards Echo and other operators like Legion, even though he's currently not in the game. But with Pulse being in play, she'll be able to hunt down both of those players. She is a direct counter, and I love that pick immediately by Blarn.
Yep, we're going to see a 6 pick come in from Crymagic as well to bring a Gridlock into the fray. So I was talking about before, we need to see something to replace the Jackal, and for the time being, that's probably going to be what role it will fill. We'll keep a closer eye on that because a lot of players as well seem to want to hold back those track stingers for the actual execute from what we were seeing used on it back on Tuesday. So it's interesting to see her meta develop. I think there's a few different roles that she's going to be able to fit into on the attacking side.
With Capital coming into play, he's going to be really good for clearing out.
This is going to get rehosted, I think, though. So
okay, all right. So
cancel that.
I got excited, man. They teased me. I don't like that. I don't like it.
Well, yeah, we just had a small bug there real quick with one of the players, so I think he's going to restart the client real quick, which should hopefully just take a minute or two, and then we'll be jumping right back into the game. Either way, some interesting prospects coming out of that ban phase. A Jackal ban, which I'm going to be honest, I haven't seen that one in a while.
It's a rank ban.
Yeah. I wasn't going to go. I mean,
but hey, that's what we got. But the Maestro ban makes sense. Blackbeard also another ban that we see in rank. Mira makes a lot of sense, especially on the site that we just saw them on, Builders and Hookah.
Mira probably the most common out of those 4 bans.
Yeah.
Obviously the Maestro being a very close second to that, but we've been seeing a trend recently. It started, I think, probably at Milan. I wasn't able to pay attention to bans too closely at Milan, but at least from the minor, I noticed there was a trend of actually banning Maestro, leaving Echo in, and then a lot of the time, obviously we didn't see it in this matchup, but a lot of the time banning IQ out as well. In order to kind of bring a lot more firepower to Echo, or a lot more validity to it. Obviously it's a lot harder to find those without an IQ. So I was noticing that starting to become a trend.
Yes, well that's pretty interesting because Maestro has a few operators that are instant counters. So why would you ban IQ if Echo's going to be in play? I'd rather deal with Echo with IQ in play than...
Well, you have to kind of play like chicken with the team that's on defenders, because I think it's like the most valid strat right now. If the team is banning both the IQ and the Maestro in order to, and basically at that point, so that would have the 2 middle bans. Is the way it has to work. The team has to have those 2 middle bans, I think, in order for the power dynamics of this to work.
Makes sense.
So when they do that, right, it's essentially giving the team that's on defenders a choice. Do we want to not have like a good plant denial operator? Like Echo or Maestro would fulfill that role. Or do we want to just leave it in there but have to deal with the fact that IQ is also banned, so we also get a huge boost from this too, and then just play into it. So it leaves the teams with like 2 very interesting choices when the team that is the middle bans, which I think is the attackers starting out, are left with that option.
And by the way, Chad, I just got word the lobby is actually coming right back together now, so the game will be up soon. I know you guys are probably saying to yourselves, shut up and start the game, but we're getting
we can't
as fast as possible.
Much as we want to.
Blame Sam. Blame Stokes. That's what I always do.
Yeah.
But
I've been sleeping right now.
Must be nice,
slacker.
Right? But out of all of the operators picked, I have my eye on Capital. Because I just feel like him with his LMG and also, the boats, they're just so essential whenever it comes to clearing out a site. And he's going to be, an absolute factor. So with the sites being Builders and Hookah, I'm not sure what the strategy was going into this, but I'm interested to see if we're going to see a lot of first floor play, the verticality involved. So.
It's interesting what like Gridlock could potentially too as well if her attempts to toss the utility are denied. So like for instance, if they're able to use some of those Capital bolts to clear out defenders that are holding on the outside of Hookah or right behind the bar in Hookah, and they don't have the wall leading into billiards like taken down, you could use these asphyxiation bolts to clear out defenders really quickly and then throw a track stinger. And as long as because remember it's the initial track stinger is what needs to get shot for it to stop spreading.
Exactly.
So if you get that in a good position to where the defenders can't access that from outside in the hallway, that thing could spread, and then all of a sudden, like, defenders can't come back in, so you have seemingly an easy plant. Now, you'd probably have to still take a little bit more control, to have some angles to make sure people in the hallway don't just immediately kill the planter, but still, there's a lot of power that can come from the combination of those two operators, especially on like these like tighter sites that are right next to like the outside of the building.
And unlike the second game that we will see tonight, I'm expecting pretty aggressive playstyle, especially coming from 7 Spades. Because when you look at the upper teams, the upper echelon of teams, they play slow, they take their time. But like we saw from 92 Dream Team, they just run at you. They're reckless, they're fearless, and they're always in your face. So if we get that type of playstyle, it's going to be a really fun matchup.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun indeed. Once we jump back into it, folks, we do apologize once again for that delay. We're working on re-establishing the lobby as quickly as possible, and I think we back.
There we go. Let's get it. Parallax and 7 Spades. If you had to make a guess, a random guess, random prediction, who do you think is going to come out on top? I feel like Blarn has a pretty big fan base from what I've seen on social media and also the chat so far.
Yeah, it's like really hard to call, right? Since there's like so little tape on these guys.
Yeah.
I would, just off of like a hunch from what I saw on like the roster experience and whatnot, by looking at their like ESL profiles and stuff earlier, and like the little bit of the Saturday matches that I was able to check out.
Yeah.
Probably go with Parallax, but it's a very guessy prediction. I will be honest and say that.
Well, Parallax, they had all the trash talk, but Echo's in play once again. It's going to be mean. You see him putting a yokai all the way on the first floor, so let's see how the take will be for Parallax Gaming. And currently droning out, pretty much gathering all the intel that they can. Make sure they paint a mental picture in their head where they're going to attack first. You want to check for the roamers, get the verticality play involved, and ultimately move into the site. But now with the Legion in play along with Pulse, IQ, she's going to have a heavy task in front of her, which is going to be Blarn.
All right, well, let's take a look here. They're going to get easy access to the DJ balcony. This will allow them to move in towards VIP. VIP not looking like it's too well defended by 7 Spades either. They don't have anybody actively inside of it trying to hold with like a crouch on the couch or something like that. So they've actually pushed back pretty close to the site, closer to Hookah, and the hallway outside of it. I'd assume that the billiard setup has a pretty heavy focus on the defense too. So to start things out by moving in on this side, Blarn nearly catching a player downstairs. That's that spot on the IQ. Flip phone there. It's able to catch Noski when he goes searching. At the same time, he's also able to get a good amount of intel, so neither team really coming out in the clear from that play.
Yeah, Blarn, you saw him pretty much using a buddy system, holding hands as he's trying to hunt down Pulse right now in bar. So he's going to be the main focus. Yes, Echo is in play, but he will come later on. With the drones coming out, you're able to see a roamer from 7 Spades. But now, Bravo Dog moving in all the way from the back of the spawn. He's now going to be in play. But moving into Aquarium is going to be Malfano.
Malfano aiming around like crazy right now, but
yeah,
it's going to give him access to Aquarium.
Using a Para 308, you usually see the LMG. And yeah, having all of those shots on you is pretty much big. But moving into Luggage, the 1v1 from Sonar, the pre-fire isn't able to connect, and now they know his position, but he's going to be ultimately aggressive. Sonar, he's going to pay for it though. Malfano is going to get the first headshot of the game.
Carlito, though, spamming in from the other side of this half-broken wall, is able to take out Malfano. Takes a little bit of a hit in response. That Bravo Dog is going to end up just getting destroyed on the window by Noski there. Repelled a little bit too low and gave himself away in the hitbox. So 7 Spades once again takes the man advantage. But it may not stay that way for very long here. A bit of a weird angle being taken, but it gives Carlito another kill. Vahud, in the meanwhile, was able to find Noski, bringing this into a 2v3.
Aquarium is still in the hands of the defending team, 7 Spades, and as he's looking in towards Hookah, he's not able to get a sight, but I like this angle coming from Carlito, but he was unable to be successful. He looks through the bullet hole, not able to get a shot, looks through the hole in the wall, and ultimately gets blasted. So it's going to be all up to Mean right now. You have Motive utilizing the Toxic Smoke, and there he goes. Blarn is going to be out the game, leaving Parallax Gaming in a 1v2.
Was Blarn on the other side of the wall at bar? I think he was. I think he threw it. I think the smoke penetrated through the wall to be able to get him there. Yeah, so that's how they managed to take him down. Really not a whole lot of room left, unfortunately, for Crymagic to push back in. So he's going to get taken down. Track Stingers just not covering the amount of ground they would have hoped for, though. I think they got 2 complete Stingers down. You could see all these things on the floor right next to Billiard. Just didn't give them the amount of control they were hoping for. And off of that, the defenders still come out on top of the round. They take the first, of course, and with that, they'll have a 1-0 lead.
So that's the thing whenever you want to push Billiards. The thing is, if Smoke is holding that corner, his toxic gas can penetrate through the wall. That's where the verticality play comes in big. You're going to have to come from below. That's why sometimes you see teams utilizing Buck or Jackal to utilize that shotgun and drive him out of there. If you're able to get him away from there and push the team into hallway and also hookah, the take is that much easier. But you're going to have presence on the first floor to pretty much drown out the defense, and smoke was too strong for him.
They were also, the problem as well, they weren't really able to get a whole lot of pressure over on hookah side of the map. They were, there was a few players that died to rappel on either big window or the hookah window. And then as far as I could tell, they didn't really have a lot of pressure on balcony, or at minimum, they weren't really able to do much with it.
Yeah.
So because of that, the players that were sitting in hookah basically had no pressure on for most of the round, or at least after that initial team fight when the execute happened. And it was a pretty simple hold to close out on the 2v1 there as well. Just a little unfortunate the way that it panned out, but the team fight was kind of crazy, so it's a little hard to keep track of.
All right, so here we are. The bomb sites are going to be kitchen and service entrance. Taking a look at the attacking team, Sophia is going to be a play along with, we see a lot of gridlock recently, especially on USN. So when you and Sam casted, I believe Tuesday, how big was she in just changing the game with, being a new operator, new ability with the track stingers?
So the thing is, the gun is split right now. So a lot of her powers come from just like fragging power. Then it's a little bit split on like which gun everybody's using. It's pretty much half and half. I've seen on people in the M249 and the F90.
Okay.
So she's taking a lot of fights. I haven't seen like a game or round-winning track stingers play right now.
I don't think you will often.
Its biggest use has been to what I think her primary role is going to be for right now, which is like roam denial, where she just makes it annoying or very loud for a roamer to try to come up on you. Similarly to like Nomad or something like that.
And the cues that you get whenever she puts out the track stingers, I mean, you're going to have to shoot those away, which automatically gives out an audio cue and they know where the intel is. They know exactly where you are. But I believe that her utility and her secondary are way more important. She's going to come with 2 smoke grenades and also a secondary shotgun, which is great for breaching walls.
But imagine like a closed off site where she can get a smoke down and then, nice find by Natsuki there on Pulse from down below. He's going to be able to pick up Bravo Dog. Taking him down. Sonar, in the meanwhile, still trying to be floaty here, and it's working. Has to go below a hatch for it, too. A bit risky. It's going to get the job done. Confirms a second, although he doesn't know it just yet. He's got an idea. Remember, kill confirmations are off in pro play, so he hasn't seen that. And actually,
I think he knows.
He has to know, I think. He just didn't see him crawling away and didn't see him get down. Either way, Carlito from 7 Spades is able to get another kill, and this is just not going that well for Parallax right now.
Yeah, Fahouta's down. He's not getting picked up anytime soon. Oh, yeah, there it goes.
There's
goes over there and pops one in him while he's laying down. McCry Magic moving in towards luggage from Aquarium. We see the outline. He has no idea. And with the peek, he's able to win the 1v1. Carlito gets absolutely destroyed, but 7 Spades are going to come out on top as Mean gets the final kill. Roaming with Echo.
So like I said, winning fights.
Yeah.
Big key. Which is like weird for her, right? Considering she actually does have the biggest hitbox in the game right now. So
yeah. Little big body right there. 3 armor. She's very useful though. I love her for her utility. I wonder if we're gonna see her throughout the entirety of this matchup, and so far it's been 3 straight rounds where we've seen her in play.
It's all coming in from Cry Magic as well to be able to utilize it, so they're still trying to figure out where they can use that. There's certainly some spots where if you get a full track stinger, circulation down, can really cause problems for defenders, especially if you kill out site anchors first and leave the round up to like roamers to come back to site. She could be really useful for that.
So this current site is going to be on the first floor as well, and that spells nothing but trouble for 7 Spades. We all saw how the roaming Jaeger was just way too powerful. He was able to get 2 kills, and he wasted so much time. The kills were big, but wasting time was like the added plus. He made it so easy to take out Parallax Gaming. So 7 Spades, they picked Castle. It's going to be good for making it harder to get into sight, but also you got to take a look at the intel operators that they currently have. Valkyrie is now in play along with Legion, and Smoke, a very solid anchor, especially on the first floor. He's going to be in use as well.
We've also still got an IQ in play, though, of course, she's not banned out, so a lot of this can be dealt with relatively easily, and we'll see that hopefully used upon the execute.
But it was pretty unfortunate to see Zofia fall so early in the game as well, especially for Parallax Gaming. I mean, that's going to be one of your entry operators. You expect her to do a lot of damage, and her ability to not only stun players, but being able to have all types of environment destruction going on. Losing her within the first minute, huge blow. Let's see if Parallax can go ahead and answer back.
So just going to be a little bit of drone game right now. It looks like they're going to take a similar path to how they took hookah and billiards by going for office control first and then working it from there. We would, again, similarly to that upstairs site, you would have to expect a little bit of play to happen closer towards like the pull doors and stuff as well.
Yes.
So you can't really take a one-dimensional approach. So that's been part of the problem for Parallax, is they've been kind of one-dimensional in the way they've been actually attacking the site due to the amount of people they've lost in getting map control. So.
All right, yeah, drones going on. I believe there's 2 roamers on the 2nd floor. So taking their time, we're now going to push the 2-minute mark in just a few seconds. And let's see if they can be successful this time around. The roaming game was way too strong. 7ven Spades, they're looking to win their their 3rd round in a row.
The thing you'll note about the roam game, though, right, is it's really strong, but it's not hyper-aggressive. Like, they're really only expanding to, like, 1 or 2 parts of the map. But on this round, they're incredibly conservative.
So that was the question. So we all saw what happened in Penthouse with Jaeger. And Parallax Gaming, they were pushing in 1 by 1. They could have all said, hey, let's count to 3 and make the push together. Let's use communication and play as a team. They didn't do exactly that. And they gave 7ven Spades all of the advantage in the world. But now we're pushing into 1 minute and 30 seconds, and there's not a lot of real estate that's been gained on Parallax's side.
So again, they're like hyper-focusing on hookah, which is a good adjustment from the previous round. But now there's not enough pressure, like you were saying, coming in from the other side of this one. Bravo Dog's going to start things off well to take down Carlito. He's been a huge menace in their side in some of these previous rounds, although to be fair, it's been the Legion, and they changed the player who was on him, but just as I speak of it, Nosuke, who's on the Legion, ends up going down. Sonar will be the first to trade, but he's back on site right now. He's not out roaming, so there's a lot more presence here on hookah trying to deny it, so they cannot do the top-to-bottom play that the attackers want to go for right now. It's wasting again. Time is the big key factor out of this. Sonar with another pick. He's going to get picked by Bravo Dog, working his way on the other side, but Bravo Dog gets the double, a triple overall on the round, leaving it all on motive. He's got these players so low, but it won't matter. Bravo Dog is there, completes the round with a quad kill, putting Parallax on the board.
And that's the disappointing thing about losing Legion as your 2nd operator of the game, especially when the time is dwindling down in the final minute, is once he goes down, you hear the audio cues of the goo mines going off, but you don't know which one is actually going off. And Legion is an operator that gets stronger over time, so him being gone early was a huge blow. Yes, they lost Castle first, and his utility, I mean, you're not going to miss him way too much unless you're rotating around with those Castle barricades, but Legion has to definitely stay alive. I expect more from Carlito. I know that he's capable of putting in a lot of work that we've seen previously.
Almost the case there. 7ven Spades pulling back their roam game too much and basically trying to play everyone on a slight extension from the site. Ultimately comes back to bite them. Parallax have a hyper-focused attack there on hookah, and it takes out 3-4 members of 7ven Spades before they can appropriately rotate everyone to try and deal with that.
Yeah.
So obviously they're not going to be able to play it from downstairs if that room is lost. So it was a little bit crazy. Either way, 7 bite on that, leave it all up onto their smoke, and he's not able to pull off the 1v3, even with the very low HP of the Parallax roster by that point.
So we're going to see a similar sight right now. This is where 7ven Spades are pretty much undefeated on this top floor. They lost the last round, and Parallax, they're going to have to hope that they can mount on this type of momentum to make this push. We saw them struggle, especially coming in towards Aquarium and Builders, and that was mostly all because of 7ven Spades' work with their anchor, which was Smoke. He was able to deny the plant and deny the overall push, which gave Capital pretty much a ton of trouble. He had no help by the time he was able to get into Builders, and that was pretty much all she wrote for Parallax Gaming. So here we are, round number 4. Let's see if they learn from their mistakes and they can go ahead and come out on top.
A slow start to this one for Parallax. No one going right inside.
Already?
All right, I'm gonna.
Okay.
I'm just gonna shut up now.
I love it. The action is thick right now. All right.
It's gonna be their Capital too, which
huge
is like
blow.
Probably their biggest execute operator.
Yeah.
Because if you just have track slingers thrown, like that's gonna get countered immediately if you're trying to get onto a site with it. So.
Now, pretty much,
not a good way for Parallax to start the round.
I agree. I pretty much love how Blarn is pretty much taking on that role head on to where he's going to be the counter for not only the Echo Anchor, but also Pulse, because 7ven Spades, they've brought in Pulse, I believe, every single round so far. So him staying alive and being effective for Parallax is going to be vital. We all saw how the early C4 affected Parallax Gaming 2 rounds ago. Let's see if they can correct that mistake. But with the XK Rose coming out, you see Parallax trying to open up more sites, more lanes to get into the site, as they're currently in VIP.
But again, though, because they're trying to go in from VIP, they will have had to dealt with 90 pressure, and they haven't done that at all. So you still have the Jaeger, plus the potential for 1 or 2 other players to mess with them when they try to go out into this hallway, and that's going to be a problem when they try to pinch the site. Sonar He's got their number right now. Oh no, they're realizing it though. They've got the drone coming out to deal with him. He can hear it running around the corner.
Now Sonar, he was extremely patient the last time we saw him get a double kill, and here we are once again, the roaming Jaeger getting the double kill. So that's going to put Parallax at a huge disadvantage. Not only is Capitao down, but also IQ. With IQ out the picture, hey, Echo is going to have a field day. The triple kill comes in. The drone game, excuse me, the game from Sonar is just way too on point right now.
The roam game.
The roam game.
You meant to say there.
Yeah, it's the drone game.
That's the other side.
Yes.
We got it all down on Crymagic, who's always seems to be in this position, interestingly enough. Gonna get his own little highlight reel here once again as he attempts the 1v5. He's already got the first, took care of Sonar finally, but obviously a little bit late for that.
Good luck. 1v4 and you have 2 smoke grenades, you have those track stingers, and
bye-bye.
That's it. I would have just threw the tracks around and just ran around the map.
Yeah, I mean, like, ultimately, he was
in a bad position.
At the end of the day, ultimately, he was going to have to go up against, you know, this mid-hallway push a second time since he'd move, unless he, like, want to run through VIP, but that would have been super obvious. So he was going to have to walk into a fight there at some point anyway.
One thing I will say about Crymagic, especially utilizing a new operator, is that, Malfano's is now going to be on Gridlock. Here we are. Gridlock has stayed alive until the very last moments of these games. We haven't seen Gridlock die first. Whenever she gets into a gunfight, the gun is strong enough to win these engagements, especially with her being a 3 armor operator. So if they're able to utilize her utility, use those smoke grenades, a good use, be able to get the plant down, Parallax, they can try to snag a round or two, but from the looks of it, S7ven Spades, I mean, Uzumaki said it, and I echoed him before the map even started. Coastline is S7ven Spades map.
Well, it's looking like that's going to be the case here for Parallax. Again, a big issue for them is dealing with that roam game, and most notably Sonar, as we can see with him leading the charge at 7-3 right now. Bravo Dog had that really amazing quad kill round, and that's the reason why he's up on top right now. But besides that, from a fragging perspective, we haven't seen anything that impressive so far from Parallax.
Not at all. So Sonar, once again, we saw him get double kills 2 rounds in a row on the same site. He was able to turn that double into a triple last round, though. His roam play up top, especially around Penthouse, VIP, wherever he chooses to go this time around, has been vital to S7ven Spades' success. And he's making his job so much easier for his teammates because not only are the kills obviously great for his team, but it's the operators that are coming out of play. Big. Taking out IQ, taking out Zofia. By the way, are the 2 operators that we've seen go down early time and time again. It puts Parallax at a continuous disadvantage, and once more, we see a kill within the first 20 seconds of the game. Food, taking out Sonar.
This time, though, it's in the favor of Parallax, so it seems like that change-up might have benefited them, as it also deals with Sonar this early on, too, knocking out that Jaeger that's been a real problem for them. This is a good start for Parallax, because S7ven haven't seemed to have any, prominent roamers that have been moving out on the map besides him, and kind of agree with that with the operator lineup. Noski and Carlito are going to be kind of exceptions to this, especially now that the Jaeger's gone down. But we'll see if they're able to find as much impact as he was.
Kind of like we were expecting from Psycho at Allied with Sonar coming out so early. Now we're going to see what S7ven Spades is all about without their roamer being a playmaker. So, Droney coming in and out, but also Noski on pulse. He's trying to look for that cheeky C4 kill. He's not able to see anybody just yet. And me trying to peek for something, and he got what he was looking for. He got a bullet to the face.
Moving that around there in the back,
Yeah.
Doesn't catch it though. And that's going to cost him. Parallax with 2 smooth kills to start the game off. Not much of a responsive damage, obviously, except what's going on to their Capitao. So to 5v3. This is looking good for Parallax. It's that stalling, of course, they've got to be careful. They haven't exactly explored everything on the inside too much, and that's going to leave the door open for Noski to get a double out in the courtyard, though, so it won't survive for too much longer besides that, as Cry is able to find the immediate trade.
All right, here it is. 2v3, great operators on the side of Parallax Gaming. You hear the boats coming out from Capitao, so the utility is definitely on their side. But Carlito has been holding this angle for a whole minute. You have the toxic gas coming out, and now we're going to look at a 3v1. It's going to be all up to Castle. He's in a pretty rough situation, but the dropping headshot takes Barn out the game. He's going to find himself in a 1v2, which is doable. Look at the health on both remaining players from Parallax. The intel is going to have to be on point, but most importantly, Carlito is going to have to make sure that he connects the shots, and Crymagic is going to take him out the game. Parallax Gaming winning round number 5.
What an interesting attempt to hold Kitchen there from S7ven
Right.
Spades with 2 people in courtyard.
And he stood there for like a minute and a half.
One of them, I think both of them at one point were on that like drop down, like that overhang as well. So
Pulse and Castle.
I mean, it almost worked
the
too.
duo.
I think the angle just like didn't work out well enough to where they could kill the planter, and that's what was like the ultimate failing of it. But
hey,
besides that, that was actually pretty solid.
Yes, sir. All right, one more round away from halftime. Let's see how S7ven Spades can go ahead and try to extend this lead over here on defense. Capital and Habana in play as usual. We see Gridlock just about every single round. Yeah, I believe every single round. And IQ is pretty much a staple at this moment. I mean, hey, that's her. The ultimate intel denial operator.
Kind of has to when Echo is obviously this prevalent, just because you don't want to take a risk. To be fair, like Parallax have been executing with like a lot of time left on the clock for the most part.
Yes.
So that hasn't really been much of an issue. They could, dip the IQ if they wanted to, but I think they're just playing it safe with the Echo in check.
I agree. I do want to give a shout out to Motive. Even though he's 2-2, we've seen how much he's controlled the pace and slowed down the game. Whenever we saw pushes, he was always the main cause of, the denial. He was able to slow down members of Parallax Gaming multiple times during multiple takes. And even though his stats don't reflect it, he's been such a great team player for this roster. I really love him as an anchor. He's not trying to be too flashy. He's doing his job. They're not asking for too much of him. They know exactly what he's there for. He's not making crucial mistakes. And, I mean, what more can you ask for him, a downright anchor on this roster?
We're going to find out what exactly can provide here as they're looking for one more pickup to solidify a lead at 4-2. If not, we're going to be dead even 3-3 at halftime here.
I said when we were walking here, I believe that this game is going to go down to the wire. Both teams filling each other out, which we see right now. A little bit of back and forth. Even though S7ven Spades seem to have the upper hand here and there, but Parallax have had two strong outings. Whenever they won, it was pretty much like it was well-deserved. It wasn't a 1v1 close game. It was like, okay, they downright dominated. So,
what was that?
I have no idea.
What was she holding?
Is it new deal?
Look, there it is again.
There we go. Here we are at the USN.
Can we please see her? I think that's actually her gun. Can we please see her shoot that? I think it's... Oh, never mind. It's Castle.
Marcy, you get off of this.
Oh, is it the
That's Castle.
What is it? Is that his gun? Like, it looks like the heartbeat sensor. Like,
it looks like he's ready to throw his gun at somebody. It's going to beat him with the shotgun.
Whack him with it.
Castle came to play no game. All right. IQ trying to get a nice angle. We see drones getting shot out. But Blarn, a little bit of aggression coming from his side. He saw the gunfire. He knows exactly where they are. But is the peak going to come? But patience, surely paying off as he saved his life so far, but take a look at the time. We have a lot left, but in regards to Parallax, they don't have a lot of real estate yet. So they have to move in. Shout out to Castle.
We really need to see him shoot that. Mean, though, with a nice re-peek around the corner, and CCTV is going to be able to find Blarn taking him out. Cry will pick up the trade on Capital, knocking out the Castle and deleting our very funny bug.
Noski staying alive so long as Pulse. Being able to gather intel for his team is just way too valuable. Taking a look at a 3v2 now. S7ven Spades, the team that we thought pretty much had the upper hand every single round when this map first started. Parallax is starting to give him a challenge now. A little bit of a fight. But see the outlines a little bit too far away. He's not able to pick up heartbeats just yet. Being patient. Motive, he's going to be on the A site. He has 2 toxic canisters. Putting one to use, it's going to leave one more left with 35 seconds on the clock. Each one is going to pretty much be denial for about 15 seconds, and there we are with the track stingers.
Problem again, they can be denied so easily when you have an active presence in that, so you need to combine it with something like Capital bolts or another form of distraction. Even the smokes, use those smokes. I believe she still had 2 of them to chuck back in.
Oh, the shotgun play is going to be ideal, and he's able to get the... No, it wasn't him, it was Monfano getting a headshot with Capital. Yeah, Motive was able to get the kill. But with 7 seconds left to go, Parallax, they have to make a play now. Able to turn around, kill the diffuser. It's going to be Noski, and this is going to be it for Parallax. He's able to stay alive. Yes, and he got it. The very last second. There you have it. Did the diffuser go down? Because that happened so fast.
Didn't know.
So he died literally, like...
He panicked pre-fired and gave away his position.
There we go. Okay.
Like, he kind of... Like, it wasn't an invalid pre-fire, considering he knew he was rushing him, but I don't think the other player knew where he was at right there, so he did kind of give away his spot and allow him to actually pre-fire him.
All right. Like I said, I'm pretty impressed that Pulse has stayed alive for so long. You know, just staying away from IQ whenever he has a chance. But now the side's going to be flipped. 7 Spades now going to currently be on attack. Valkyrie in play, along with Echo for the defending team, Parallax Gaming. And now we're going to see Nomad and Twitch, along with Buck, for the very first time. Pretty much opposite. I wonder if 7 Spades are going to pretty much stick with the operators, the same operators throughout the entirety of this side, kind of like Parallax did. They started slow. I was questioning if they're going to change things up. They didn't do it too much. And now the game is tied. Let's see if 7 Spades can turn around and do the same.
We will see, because there's some variability that could come into play for 7 Spades depending on the site that they're up against. But as you might expect, things are going to start out the attack on Hookah Billiards the way that most teams start out on this map. So we're playing the usual rotation right now. Operator lineup's playing to that pretty well too. We've got a typical lineup for the defenders, nothing too crazy here. They're not really trying anything insane. Obviously they've got the Echo in play since he was left unbanned and we don't have the Maestro.
Okay, this is interesting. All right, so Shield's going right next to the bomb site over at Hookah. Got the Yokai looking over cool vibes. So we're gonna see Cry Magic pretty much, this is gonna be his territory. This is his domain, and the spawn peak looking at a pull. Let's see if this is gonna pay off. I don't see the outline yet, so.
This is scary to do with your Echo though, to be fair.
Because if Echo dies first, it's like, okay.
I don't think he put his Yokais in like the greatest positions either, or I think he only has like one of them in position right now, so.
Hey, maybe he's just being patient with the next. Never know when you need it, man. Especially with IQ in play, you do have to be cognizant and careful about where you place him. Because IQ can sneak around, and next thing you know, a little pistol shot, and you know, the Yokai is gone. The Yokai is also a game-changing ability coming from Echo. With the plant denial and also disrupting the vision of any attacker coming their way, he can be game-changing. He's definitely ridiculous, and that is why we see so many bans on not only Echo, but Maestro. Two great defenders.
You've got Twitch drones alive here too, so they can also get rid of those Yokai drones if they just get naturally spotted pretty easily.
Okay.
Easy pre-fire kill there for Mean. He's aimed on that angle for the longest time, so Blarn, unfortunately, has got himself to blame for getting aggressive right there.
Yeah, that was a pretty slow peak, and his reaction time wasn't fast enough, and Mean came out on top. And with the Nomad play that we saw yesterday with a few of the top-tier teams, we all seen how effective she is on attack. She's annoying to deal with, man. We saw Reciprocity pretty much struggle with her. So Valkyrie's going to be out of play along with Jaeger, leaving 7 Spades with all members alive.
Oh no.
And Twitch is heading down.
Run!
Oh, got him! All right, Sonar.
I've never seen a Yokai try to run from a Twitch drone before.
It's like cat and mouse.
Yeah. To be fair, he used like 4 of the darts to get him though at least, so wasted a good amount of those. But unfortunately on the defensive side, there's not many other gadgets for Twitch to get rid of at this point. So
not at all. So IQ's being the first to move in. She's able to see. No. That player isn't on the drone, so she's not able to see him.
But yeah, but she knows it's there now is the key thing. So they know it's in billiards. It's probably not going to move from there.
That's pretty much meta at this point, and Capital utilizing those smoke boats. Now we're going to see pretty much aggressive play. And with the diffuser currently go down, it's going to be 4 more seconds. That's going to get denied as the toxic gas comes from the smoke anchor player.
Still seeing an attempt from Parallax to peek in from billiards too. Or excuse me, from Hookah. We've got to calm down on this though. It's costing him way too many players. Just let them play into you. 35 seconds left here. Bravo Dog going to pick up the next frag here for the defenders. A huge lineup for Bravo Dogs. He's going to be able to down another. Didn't get the confirm just yet, but there we go. It's Motive getting knocked out, and now we're even to a 2v2. Works out perfectly for Parallax. Now that they've slowed it down, in fact, they nearly win it out here. The problem is you got Buck rotating in on the window. He's going to be able to pick up 1 of the remaining kills. It's all him versus Malfano now. The jump from Nos, he's going to go in against the smoke, and what? Wow. Pre-fires right into Malfano and wins the round on it. 7 Spades with a wonderful pickup.
I'm taking him to Vegas with that type of luck. Like, whenever I do that when I play in ranked, I get bodied, man. He went in confident. Maybe the intel was on point. Unfortunately, I didn't know what the drone placement was looking like or what the comms were like on that side, but it was perfect. It was a perfect play.
Malfano as well. I mean, he heard him repelling, so he's like, oh, this is an easy kill. Never mind. Yeah. Just gets a shot right to the face, walks right into his pre-fire pattern there. So a little unfortunate for Malfano, but nonetheless gives 7 Spades back their advantage at the beginning of the half.
All right, my man Sonar, he's going to be downing Zofia. We saw big plays coming from Zofia when the one and only Bolo had his debut yesterday. Let's see if Sonar can go ahead and do it on his own. With Ash losing her ACOG, we see a lot of Zofia and Twitch play, and it's been pretty successful so far in the league. Twitch last round with the F2, high rate of fire. We saw her being able to get a nice kill on the flank. Zofia being in this time, her utility is top-notch. Like I said, the stuns and the environment destruction that comes along with it, especially the ACOG sight. Old people like me, we need that extra long sight to be able to get a good view. She can be good to good view. So, here we are, 20 more seconds in the preparation phase, and let's see if Parallax even can go ahead and tie the game. Valkyrie running down, cool vibes. Let's see where she puts these black guys at. Unsure where she put the last two, but Blarn, it seems like he's looking for the right place to put it, and there you have it. One of them is going to be in office.
You always got to look for the very artsy places to put your black eye cams, you know?
Yeah.
Where does it blend in? Where do I get like, you know that piece of art, it's like a repeating staircase?
Yes.
Yeah. How do I make this with my Valkyrie cameras? That's how you have to play Valkyrie.
True. Yeah. All right, so Carlito moving in with IQ. A little bit of pre-fire. He's not expecting to see anybody there, but there's going to be nobody in office. But the moment he steps in, if he doesn't utilize that electronics detector, the black guy's going to see him in, yeah, he walks right in front of it. So if Valkyrie's on the cam, she's going to know exactly where he is. But
it's the peak.
Yeah, let's see if this is going to pay off for him.
They're on the backing away, so no one's going to end up taking the duel. Might have about 3 seconds late on that pre-fire there, but he would have had it. Did peek right into their angle. They'll spot the black eye camera on the inside of, I think it was office. Take that one out. Besides that, 7ven Spades still primarily focusing on droning at this point after getting office control.
So the intel's being gathered. We have Buck pretty much doing some remodeling right now over in Bar. Sunrise, Zofia's going to do the same. Trying to open up a few holes from below with the verticality, and they're unable to get a pick so far. Not a lot of health has been taken, except the smoke player from Parallax Gaming. He's going to have to stay alive. His utility is vital in holding things back, especially now that the time is winding down. 10 seconds off from minute 30. Let's see if Parallax can hold him off even more. No death so far, so the roam game has been ideal. And getting in towards Aquarium has been trouble, but Motive, utilizing Para 3 away from afar, is able to take out Crime Magic, which is going to be Echo.
Lauren trying to spam back. He doesn't have a great angle to play into it, though, so he's going to have to be very careful about it. Avoids death, though, takes the smart choice and gets out of there. Noski not going to be so lucky. He's going to be found out by Fahood, and that's going to start to even things out now into a 4 versus 4. This is, again, 7ven Spades trying to move, and they got a good amount of time left to play off of. Great first floor control. I mean, they're trying to flick as well, but Sonar ends up getting the better of it onto Fahood to take him out and find another trade. He's back under the control of 7ven Spades. They're going to look to start pushing into Hookah here. Or at least Sonar is. The rest of the team still a little bit split up, so I'm not exactly sure what the priority is going to be. Definitely leaning towards Hookah, though.
The priority is a little bit more dynamic than what we saw from Parallax Gaming whenever they attacked this site. We all saw them pretty much all come in towards Aquarium, as Sonar is going to take Malfano out the game. The 7ven Spades are coming from a lot of different angles, not only from down low. You see Hookah Lounge being taken care of. They're coming from Aquarium with Capital, but Bravo Dog has something to say. He knows the plan is going down. He peeks, and he's able to get the kill, but the trade comes through. The diffuser goes down. It's going to be all at the Blarn.
Blarn very loud as he works his way up the cool vibe. He's going to make his intentions obvious to Sonar, who's sitting on the other side right over by Billiards Bar. Won't matter, though. Sonar goes for a wide swing, it looks like. Gives himself up to Blarn. Still 2 players left, though. One's at full HP, and Blarn's just over 25. He's just lost half of his time to get onto the diffuser as well, so it's not going to look good. And Mean, right on the big window, takes him out. 7ven Spades with another pickup.
That was great. 7ven Spades, once again, putting in a lot of work. As you see Sonar giving him props, saying, hey, nice shot, Blarn. So 7ven Spades going around number 9. They're going to be up by 2 rounds, not a substantial amount, but 2 away from winning this first semifinal game. If they win this, they go ahead and, no, they will go on and play the winner of Dark Zero in Space Station Gaming. Fortunately, that game won't end in a tie, so let's see if Space Station can pull out. But in the meantime, we're going to have Doc in play once again, and pretty much the same picks that we see from... So Parallax Gaming, they're not bringing a lot of variety when it comes to operator picks. They pretty much have their mind set on who they want to be at the beginning of the map, and they stick with it. They stick with it. We don't see a lot of adaptation. Meanwhile, 7ven Spades, they've brought a few different looks, but we don't expect a big variety coming from attack on this map, because pretty much you take a look at all the operators like Buck, IQ, and Nomad. I mean, their utility can be useful on any site out there, especially Buck.
We're going to rotate over here towards Kitchen once again. As Parallax will attempt to play in this. Only 2 lost rounds left here before 7ven Spades takes the map and runs away with the spot in the qualifier final. They will get to go up against either Dark Zero or Space Station Gaming, which is going to be our next matchup here on stream, folks.
I can't wait, man.
It's going to be fun.
I can't wait. Whoever wins this game, they're going to have to bring it in the finals. I'm telling you, this is not going to be easy at all. They're really going to have their work cut out for them. Them being able to rotate and just adapt on the fly, unlike what we've seen on this game, especially from Parallax, I mean, it's going to have to come tenfold against this next set of teams.
We'll have to wait and see. In the case of S7ven Spades, at least, they had some interesting stuff going when it came to their roam game on defense.
Sonar, definitely.
So yeah, from Sonar specifically, he was able to get away with a whole lot. So we'll see if that's going to work out as well when they go up against a team like Dark Zero or SSG. To be fair, they've got that hidden team aspect going for them right now, but they're going to start this round off with the loss of the first kill. Blarn is going to get things. As Parallax still in this fight, of course, looking to take that spot away from S7ven Spades. We don't want to count them out of this just yet either.
Yeah, Doc's able to get the early peek, and he takes out Capital. And it seems like whoever chooses Capital, you're instantly cursed. You're going to be the first player to die because it's been a never-ending story that we've seen so far this map. But with roof control, Sonar is taking a look, see if he can go ahead and get a pick. Moving into Hall of Fame, looking in the penthouse is going to be mean. Utilizing Nomad, the air jabs have gone out, so the flank is going to be safe for now. With drones being shot out from Parallax Gaming, they know where the push is coming from. And here we are. Blarn, he's waiting for the peek. Is Carlito. He's able to get the kill on Cry Magic. Oh, yeah. So the IQ hunted down the post. So taking post out the game, huge blow. Once again for Parallax.
So, going to be able to knock him out. Pulse going down is going to add massive deficit to the info game here, but they still got a lot of angles to play into. Blarn with a good one against Carlito, sitting in the back of the hall here right now. Tiny angle against Mean. Beautiful stuff from Blarn. He's up to a trip kill now. You count that pre-fire at the start, although he gets caught trying to work his way back out into the main stair hallway, and that's going to leave him taken down by Sonar. Very unfortunate end to a very amazing round right there. They're going to be able to spot out the Jaeger sitting in a corner. Great info play, working together there on S7ven Spades' side, or excuse me, on Parallax's side.
If there's any op that can get the job done, it's definitely Zofia. Finding herself in a 1v3, you're going to have Legion smoked. Yeah, you take Legion out the picture. So now all you have is Jaeger and Smoke. Smoke is going to be your main worry once you get into the site, but first you're going to have to get past the Jaeger. With a little bit of drone work, it's not able to see anybody just yet. Oh, there you are. He sees the smoke while droning around in bathroom. Oh, he's going to try to get him through the floor. Yeah, he's going to breach it, see if he can get a lucky shot. But time is rolling down. 35 seconds left to go, and with the peak, it wasn't enough. Zofia's down, but she's going to try to get herself right back up. It's going to give him a second chance, but time is not in his favor right now. 20 seconds left to go.
Just a few seconds left here now. Only a slither of HP left on Zofia as well. Not looking good for Sonar here in the 1v2. He's going to make the play. Starts to work his way back in. Will use the last explosive charge, but it won't pan out. Bravo Dog takes it down. Parallax Gaming keep the fight rolling. Just a few rounds behind S7ven now as they pick up their fourth.
And shout out to Blarn. Blarn was pretty OP. He needed a buff right there. I mean a nerf, because that angle he was holding with Doc and picking up the triple kill, he could have had a quad kill. But he turned around a second too early. If he stayed in that angle, the peak came the moment he got up. And it was funny because when the peak came, the guy had a clear shot on Blarn, but he barely missed his head. So when Blarn flicked the mouse around, the aimer was almost on his head. He was almost able to get that kill, but unfortunately, he fell out. But he's going to be donning Doc once again.
Things going well for the defense. They start to turn this back on its heels. A few more stars starting to show up from this roster that we haven't seen much from yet, but still waiting to see if they can build it up further. Bravo Dog really leading the charge for his team there, by the way.
His back hurts.
Blarn, of course, still having his fair share of moments, especially in that last round, but it's Bravo Dog, as you can see, he's been doing all the heavy lifting, at least in terms of the scoreboard. That doesn't always tell the full story, though.
I like the pick on mute because we saw the heavy drone play, especially late game. That late game drone play could have changed the entire momentum of the round. But, you know, hey, you get rid of those drones early and you move along in the game, you're not going to have to worry about them later on in the matchup. So let's see if Capital can stay alive long enough. And let's see if S7ven Spades can go ahead and rack up a win and pretty much pull away from Parallax. They're able to go ahead by 2 rounds at a time. And then next thing you know, Parallax, they come right back up. You're going to have to put a dagger in this game. You don't want to see a Rogue and Reciprocity game yesterday where you get so close and you keep the other team right behind you. And already Blarn, he gets the early peak. Carlito, get out of here. There you have it, 5v4.
Good start again for Parallax. Slowly been rebounding in this game. S7ven started this match out with a pretty impressive lead over them. Parallax has slowly been figuring them out on both halves now. Slowly figuring them out and working to find the counters. They've been getting better and better at that. Most notably in the early round is the biggest dramatic shift we've seen. Before it was all S7ven, especially from the perspective of Sonar getting away with a whole lot on Jaeger, back on their defensive side, but so we got a few rounds into the attack now for them. I haven't seen as much early round effectiveness coming out from Sonar, and Parallax has been getting that first kill a whole lot more often than not.
You see Sonar clearing out Hookah along with Motive right now, and I just want to remind the viewers, Blackbeard was banned because of plays like this. Imagine Zofia being swapped out with Blackbeard, and there was a player there. Blackbeard, he's going to have, the upper hand 10 out of 10 times, especially with those 2 deployable shields. But Zofia in play is going to make her a little bit more vulnerable, and luckily, he didn't have to get into a confrontation. But with drone play coming up in front of me, he saw the gunfire coming from Crymagic. Crymagic is going to go down first, put in the LOL in his chat.
You got thrown off by that drone.
Yeah, the drone bodied him ultimately because he put out his location and he was made quick work of. But Blarn, once again, being a factor, getting a double kill. Sonar finally taking out the game. One of the leading fraggers on this roster.
Interesting duel going to be going on now between Nosk and the opponent below him from Parallax's side. It might be Motive. Motive, though! He's going to get dropped on by Melfano, but it won't work. He gets the better of it. Now a long-range duel. Will have the advantage in that one with the ACOG. Not going to finish it off just yet, however, although it does do great damage to the Mute.
All right. Blarn still alive as Doc. Mute, about quarter health so far. But the utility that's provided on S7ven Spades, air jabs, yeah, the Capital boast, and also Buck with the skeleton keys. They can put this in their advantage, but you know what? They might not need all of that. As Blarn finally gets taken down as Mean gets the final 2 kills. S7ven Spades pulling away.
Good recovery from S7ven Spades. A great start from Parallax. Unfortunately, couldn't follow it through till end of round. So S7ven Spades pick it up instead. And they'll push up onto map. And since we are in best of 1s, folks, match point for this one. Winner is going to move forward into our final match of the evening.
Yes.
And they'll go up against Space Station Gaming or Dark Zero, which is going to be our next match here on the stream.
Whew. I can't wait. I can't wait. The S7ven Spades, here we are, match point. This is it right now. They're going to have to earn it. They're going to have to make sure they play out of their minds to close this out. Parallax on the other end, they're going to have to play perfect. I mean, that's really the only way to put it. There's no ties. They can't afford to lose another round yet until they go to overtime. And this is it. You lose this, you have to try again next week. And just a reminder to the people at home, I see a lot of people in the chat saying, hey, man, we haven't really seen these teams before, and that's pretty much been the story of USN. You see a lot of up-and-coming teams. Stage 1, I forgot the name of the team, but it was their first time playing competitively, and they made it all the way to the semis. So, I mean, that story can be repeated if these guys continue on, signing up for these tournaments, playing on the weekends, and hopefully they make it far enough to be casted and have a chance at going to land. $150,000 on the line for the U.S. Nationals.
As a quick reminder as well, folks, if you do want to follow the progress of some of these teams, we do have our community casters covering matches
Uzumaki
on Saturdays.
Yes, by the way, our community casters, they do not get enough credit. I love them. They do a lot of work for the community, and they're phenomenal. They deserve all the love in the world. So if any of them are watching, Sternab, Uzumaki, Corn Pop, I love you guys, man. You guys have beautiful voices, and you're great at your job. All right, but here we are. S7ven Spades, map point. This is it. But Crymagic on Echo. Let's see if he can stay alive longer than he has been the last few rounds. Pretty much slow action. No spawn peaks as of yet. But S7ven Spades, they're playing impatient because they know to expect it. And Lions in play. That's toxic. That's toxic.
We haven't really seen him yet all that much in USN, though, to be fair. Like our Western Conference matches, we didn't get him that much. This is going to be one of the first times we see him, too, played by S7ven, so
yeah,
we'll keep an eye out for those scans. Obviously, he's had some pretty big changes, so we'll try to talk a little bit more about that if he comes into effect here.
He's such a good operator to use, man. If he comes into play, especially during the plant, I mean, he's game-changing. The intel provided is instant. It affects everybody on the map on the opposing team. And here it is.
So a little bit of pre-fire. Doesn't look like it. Oh no, it caught quite a few people actually. Oh, and that's an easy one. Carlito doesn't move enough. So Fahoud's going to be able to jump right down, find an easy pick on the Carlito there, taking him out. Sonar, what's weird is those pings were actually against the attackers, though.
Yeah.
He definitely had some intel from a camera. I thought that was Lions, but then I realized that was the attackers getting hit by it. So either way, interesting turn of events right there off the first ping.
All right, minute 30 seconds left to go. Everybody's still alive on Parallax game. They still have a fighting chance, and right when I said that, Fahoud, he gets taken out, which is going to make things extremely difficult for that roster. 7ven Spades losing IQ is going to be big as long as Cry is still alive with Echo. The Yokais are still roaming around. And we see a little bit of aggressive play coming from 7ven Spades now. They're moving in fast. Line goes down, so that utility is out of the picture. So, let's see what they have up their sleeves.
It's going to Bravo Dog making the difference in that respect here. Bravo Dog. It's deciding right now, do I want to peek this window to try to get the kill, or do I want to take out the air jab first? And it looks like the air jab's far enough away to where he can actually leave it there.
Yeah.
He's got to keep it in the back of his mind, though, because he doesn't want to back up too much, otherwise he could go flying right out that window, potentially. Probably not that, but...
Yeah, Capital utilizing his drone. He sees somebody in luggage, so that intel is there. And Bravo, he's going to stay in the same spot. He got droned out, and he's like, hey.
I don't think he's...
Oh, no, he didn't see him! And he gets a double kill! Bravo Dog! The drone barely missed him! And he was able to make the huge play for his team. 7ven Spades. All they have is Noski left on Buck. He's going to have to go big if he wants to close this out for his team.
From an even round to, well, this. Noski now has to do the impossible with no time left. That was their low time to execute that they were getting prepped for. This is an easy pick for Bravo Dog to finish it off. Another incredible round from him to keep Parallax in the fight.
Bravo. Imagine if he was on that drone and he just checked his corners. Just check your corners, man. They say that in every shooting game, every shooting movie out there. Always check your corners. He didn't. They paid for it. Hey, you got punished. Bravo Dog. Shout out to him. At the right moment, he was able to peek out and got the double kill. Ultimately, to put his team up by large.
7 on that. Seven's Nomad has to be like the most confused person in the world right now as well. He's like, I put an air jab there. I did not hit him.
That was so free. That was so free. All right, so here it is, Parallax Gaming. They're going to have to win one more round if they want to go ahead and take it to overtime. 7ven Spades, you don't want to give a team like this a chance because they swing back with that type of momentum. It's going to be hard to stop, especially when plays like that are made. And for the first time, we're going to see Mozzie here today. I wonder if he's going to be using a PB-10.
Swapped out from the Echo as well, which is
interesting.
But, like, to be fair, the Yokais themselves haven't been super game-changing this match. Like, it really... And by the way, here's a good example of this. We haven't really seen any rounds go to the objective, as is very apparent by this graph.
At all. No.
At all. So it's... And it, like, hasn't... We haven't really had, like, a whole lot of low time situations either, so... Echo is, like, debatably useful in this match right now. So it's not actually too big of a deal swapping him out here on the final round of regulation.
To be fair, Echo hasn't been a game changer yet on both sides. So with Mozzie being in play, being able to capture these drones and gather some intel for his teammates, he's going to be big if he could stay alive and catch them ultimately. But here we are, Parallax. They're going to have to be perfect. Match point for 7ven Spades. Are we going to go to overtime, Blue?
I'd say it's a possibility.
Okay.
Strong one at that. We'll see. This is going to be a great comeback from Parallax if they can pull it off. 7, meanwhile, has still had some convincing wins go into their pocket on this attacking side. And Larn not in a good spot right now if the spam comes through, but I think he might just be able to survive the angle. Either way, attackers aren't getting that aggressive against him right now. So he's going to remain safe in that corner.
Sonar, roam around in the back with Twitch to try to see if he could get a pick looking through the windows before he makes his way towards the building. And here goes pretty much some basic drone play. Roaming through VIP, Hall of Fame, he sees it's clear. And the Twitch drone currently out as well. Not getting much from these drones. No scans, they're currently looking for roamers and it's looking pretty clear. But if he continues to move on, there's a chance he's going to run into Blarn. But I wonder if they were able to scan him. Yeah, that drone's moving slow, as if he sees... Yep, there it goes.
They got a hard ping on him now.
Yep, both of them in one room. Pretty much sitting fish. I mean, fish in a barrel.
See that they're making it difficult. Got toxic gas grenades being chucked out in order to hold them away. A few other obstacles getting thrown into their face here, too.
Sitting fish. I'm going to blame that towards the time right now. But here we are. Kills are starting to come through, and 7ven Spades, they're losing players left and right. Twitch is going to be down. Capital taking out the game. Parallax.
Carlito's still in the fray, though, with the potential to turn this around, and, well, somehow that happened. Mean killed Carlito. So he was trying to push back in, and that's a dodge right there from Noski. Gonna keep him in the fight.
He runs away for the C4. Perfect timing. Wasn't able to get the kill, but he was able to save his life. Okay.
Sonar still having some fun, of course. Remember, guys, this is a match point. Zero chance to close it out right now. Otherwise, you gotta go to OT, so.
Under a minute left, and he's playing with the body, but Buck is going to utilize skeleton keys to open up some verticality to shoot down in the site. He hasn't been too lucky on these because pretty much everybody in Parallax, they've been patiently waiting for the floor to open up. You see him currently sitting at half health. But taking in frag grenades, going to see if he's able to get the kill. Close! No, he was able to get it! Noski takes Malfano out the game. S7ven Spades, they can do this. Under 30 seconds left.
30
What's
seconds.
going to have to come down to?
The 30 seconds is going to be the real kicker here, is the problem. Because now they don't have good intel about where the last two defenders are. It's been so long. They were really only focused on that player in kitchen. And there you go. Hood immediately picks Mean when he tries to wrap downstairs. It's all on Sonar now. Goomine stuck in a corner. Noski trying to make the run around to join up with him, but that's not going to pan out too well. Cry Magic able to take him down. There's no time left in order to get this onto the ground here. Cry Magic picks up the last kill. Parallax find the round. We're going to OT.
Yeah. So, there you have it. Overtime. S7ven Spades unable to pull away and you know, close the casket, so to say. Parallax Gaming fought back, being down 2 rounds at a time, and they were able to rack up a few wins, and here we are.
Just going to be standard overtime for this one, folks. Extended OT is reserved pretty much primarily just for majors and pro league finals. So it's only going to be 3 rounds played out. Whoever wins 2 of them takes the match.
No ties. Rampy is wiping the sweat off of his brow right now. All right.
Yeah, thankfully we're not in that match yet.
Parallax Gaming, they're going to start off on defense. S7ven Spades on the opposite side. So let's see what Sonar has up his sleeve. We've seen him be a factor, and he's going to switch away from Twitch to Habana. Still great gun, great gadgets, and utility is definitely on point for whatever scenario you're thrown into. But let's see if he can go ahead and be the playmaker that we saw him be in the first half of this map.
Into the round we go. It's time to see. Hookah Billiards, once again, will be where we'll play at. Obviously, with the sites being reset, they'll go for the most preferential. We saw 2 really heavy, like, frag leaders in this match, by the way. Sonar, 15-11, Bravo Dog.
That's insane.
Really came alive. You know, he's had some massive rounds in both halves, to be honest, but really came alive in that second half of regulation.
Yeah.
16 kills right now.
Insane. Insane. So, here we are. About 15 seconds left in the preparation phase. We've seen success from Parallax Gaming when it comes to defending this site. But S7ven Spades giving up rounds like that over and over again and allowing Parallax to come back and go in overtime. That's got to be a big blow. They're going to have to come out swinging. Can't afford those late round, you know, mishaps. That it wasn't like they were getting dominated from the beginning. It was just adaptability and rotations that really spelled the end for them. Parallax, they worked hard for those wins, and it definitely showed. But a few air jabs going out towards balcony. Now we're going to see S7ven Spades on the move.
On the move to work their way inside. They're going to start things out again with an office push here. Start clearing out the first floor. They're already very close to quite a few members of Parallax. They're trying to camp in the lobby right now. IQ going to be supported by a drone push. Hard pings to help it out. She catches him trying to move up the stairs, but doesn't get any kills, and now there's barbed wire in the way. Very unfortunate. S7ven Spades could have got away with so much right there. It just didn't pinch it quickly enough.
A second too late and just a little bit too trigger happy. Carlito was unable to get the first blood of the round. Placing a C4 down. He's going to go ahead and rotate around. It's going to be pretty risky if he tries to go up those stairs because just the angles provided to Parallax is going to spell doom for him.
It's weird though with Parallax, right? They just kind of like give over lobby for free. They don't really fight for it at all. They're droned out and then they just immediately run. I don't know if that's because they expected the flank or if they knew there was 2 angles against them, but normally you'd expect a team to at least try to take some duels, but they wanted nothing to do with that. So.
All right, we have somebody on Parallax. I wasn't able to see the operator, but he was just putting down heat. That's going to be Bravo, putting down a lot of heat from up top in Billiards. Making sure S7ven Spades is going to respect that push. We don't see any push at all towards Aquarium, which is pretty new this matchup so far. So, S7ven Spades, they're throwing a different strat out, giving a different look currently.
They've got Hibana here as well, which could open up those walls behind Billiards bar if that's what they want to use them for, but more than likely, again, it wouldn't use the Aquarium. As you said, though, there's not really a whole lot of Aquarium pressure coming this round, and as far as I can tell, that wall's off soft anyway, so they wouldn't really need to use it there. We'll see where those X-Kairos will end up going down.
All Right now, under a minute, all players left alive. But here in overtime, we're going to have to see consistency, and Mean, he's going to be the one that gets the first kill of the round. Malfano's going to follow right behind him, evening the odds. 45 seconds left to go, and here goes a push into Hookah. Habana, unable to connect any shot at all. And the attacking team, they're just not getting anywhere close to getting into the site currently. They're still facing a lot of trouble and a lot of delay getting here. Great defense from Parallax so far. You don't have players such as Smoke in play currently, so you would think, okay, it should be easier to push in two here, but the angles provided by Parallax putting them on top is Bravo is able to get another kill, roaming around in Aquarium.
Bravo Dog stepped up to the plate once again here. He's got the 2v1 into his team's favor now, just needs that final kill to close out on it. He's had to go back for the diffuser. They got a hard ping to confirm it, so there you go. Bravo Dog again with another big pickup. Parallax continue the comeback. Now a leading situation for them as they take it at 7-6. One more round, they take the map.
John, there's no way Parallax comes back and wins 4 rounds in a row to win this series.
Listen.
There's no way. 7 Spades, they had it.
I want to say I called it, but I called it.
You called it. The all-knowing Blue. The phenomenal play-by-play caster, the all-knowing Oracle. This is it, 7 Spades. Hey, you're gonna have to go all in right here. This is it. You lose this, you go home. Try again next time. Well, you go home.
Which is in like 2 days, so.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. You know, not too bad of a deal.
But still, you made it this far. Hey, you want to go all the way, man. So this is it, Parallax Gaming. Hey, starting the game extremely slow. Able to fix these rotations. Bravo Dog with 19 and 8. 2.0 KD. 2.0 KD. He's a factor. We're going to see him donning Zofia. Let's see if that slaying power can be put to use. But it's not going to be all on him. Malfano is going to be on Gridlock. We saw this team favor her a lot, even though she really wasn't a factor in this matchup, especially when it comes to her utility. We're going to have to see that now. But Cry Magic, we saw a lot of early deaths coming from him. You cannot do that if you're on Capital.
Bravo Dog's gonna need a kill and a half every round right now.
Yeah.
For an overtime match.
They're great at math. 19 kills. I mean, hey, you see players like Rampy and so forth do this, and you know, you have another player coming up on stream, playing his heart out. He does not want to lose right now. And this is it. So Bravo Dog, he's an answer on the other side. Also slaying out of his mind with the help of his teammates. Pulse and Echo going to be in play, and Smoke is going to be a vital anchor. You're going to have to keep Blarn alive with IQ. We've seen it before. Let's see if it's going to happen again.
Well, taking again a look at Parallax here. It's actually a callback to like round number 1 of this map where we saw the initial intel push come from the DJ balcony here. It's going to start the same way as well with a push going to the inside of VIP. They'll work it from there into the hallway and out onto the site. Of course, you need corresponding pressure. A one-dimensional push is not going to win you a round. So they also have the Zofia messing around with Hookah balcony right now. And I wouldn't be surprised if there was at least one more player working towards Aquarium, although that might be stretching the envelope a little bit on their attack.
So earlier on in the map, we saw Parallax pretty much with tunnel vision when it came to attacking the site. They all pretty much tried to push through Aquarium and luggage, and that's where they ultimately failed. Second time around, we saw them heavy. Oh, nice kill from Sonar. We saw them heavily pushing the first floor, which opened things up for them. So, learning from their mistakes and their success at the same time, we're starting to see attack coming from a lot of different angles. And Cry Magic putting out these boats a little bit early as Blarn is able to pick up yet another kill. 7 Spades, looking to face defeat with 3 operators left. Echo, Pulse and Smoke, they're going to have to be on point and being aggressive towards the pre-fire. Noski thinks that he's going to have the upper hand. He wants this.
Oh, jumping. Oh, nice attempt there. You can see he's kind of blocked in here a little bit too because of the track stingers. He's going to take some damage on the way back out. But he'll make it upstairs. All the way around here. And less than a minute left now for Parallax to work their way into the site, but they've got good control of Aquarium. They kind of abandoned the play from VIP. They don't necessarily have a whole lot going over there. Fahud's still in that neighborhood. Although I'm not exactly sure where the push would come from. The area where they've really peeled off has been Hookah balcony, but even that's going to have additional pressure on it now for Malfano. as he's worked his way around. On top of it, the slow lean inside. He could actually catch, I think it's the Smoke sitting right behind the wall here. Smoke's actually going to bite to the fight. Alfano just a little bit early on the peak. Blarn, in the meanwhile, able to still find Noski on a rotate up main stairs, and there's that pick from Malfano. They're on the way in. It's all up to Echo, who's also going to immediately fall. That's the end of it, ladies and gentlemen. Parallax Gaming going to take the match in overtime.
Wow. The comeback, 4 rounds in a row. Parallax Gaming, they stuck it to him, man. They stuck it to him. They were able to pull that out. They won 7 spades. Great showing. You guys were on top the majority of the series, and you guys just couldn't finish. You need that Mamba mentality, that killer instinct. But we see that usually with NA. They're not able to close out towards the end. But hey, Bravo Dog, 19-9, going off. The rest of his team, the kills are pretty much even throughout the entirety of the scoreboard, and man, great team effort in the second half of this map.
Yeah, again, amazing recovery considering, how kind of one-sided things looked at the beginning of the matchup.
Thought they were done.
It started like 3-0 at one point, I think, for their opponents here as they were really shooting ahead. So we're going to attempt by 7 spades, but after their roam game fell apart on the defense, we never really saw much. A lot of them capitalizing those last few rounds in the first half. In the second half, although things, again, started off pretty strong.
Yeah.
Their early round kill potential fell off. Their ability to trade that was kind of dodgy, and then executes were a bit messy, unfortunately. So they slowly lost control of that lead. We ended up in OT. That's where things got real crazy.
And it was so unfortunate because earlier on, we saw so much promise coming from Sonar. Roaming around with Jaeger, he was able to get triple kills, double kills, round in and round out, but it ultimately didn't pay off for his team. Once that hot hand kind of went away from, those single pushes, the team just fell apart whenever they went up 6-4. And no one really showed life. It was a bit lethargic, especially in regards to strategy. We saw a lot of adaptation coming from Parallax, a lot of different looks. They learned from their mistakes, and they had a plan B to their plan A. Plan A didn't work, and plan B was good enough to win 4 in a row to put them in the finals here tonight.
You can see some great plays coming out throughout the match. Bravo Dog, definitely the highlight, I think, for the team. I didn't really see much of him in the last round because he got picked relatively early, but he had some pretty fantastic plays of 4K in at least one round. Multiple multi-frags beyond that in many other rounds as well. Some really great stuff from him. He's going to be my VIP pick for sure.
Really? Okay, Blarn didn't have the prettiest stat line, but Blarn had huge moments, especially this one right here, where he almost got a quad kill. That really shifted the game in their favor. Even though we saw Bravo Dog just pretty much just go off at will, I would say Blarn was a game changer.
Blarn was a very smart player.
Yeah.
The thing that I noticed for me with the angles, like you just saw there on the screen a few seconds ago, there was multiple instances like that. The thing is, it was very inconsistent in my book compared to what we saw from Bravo Dog.
I agree.
That's why my vote's going the other way, but it was a very close pick. I was considering both, and here's the big play that the man himself ended up making. Just barely getting avoided, spotted by that drone. Even got the last kill of the round 2. There's another 4K for him, so at least 2 4Ks along with a multitude of other multi-frag rounds, I think, from him, with 19 kills total on the matchup.
So with this little break that they're currently getting, I'm hoping that they sit down and they go over, the mistakes that put them behind in the first place. For instance, Crymagic. Crymagic had a lot of early deaths on important operators, and the fact that his team was able to overcome that was big. But if that happens against this next set of teams, I mean, that's really going to set your team back even more, because these other teams, they're going to be ruthless. They're not going to be as forgiving as 7 spades.
Yeah, I mean, the competition, needless to say, is going to be stepping up here
It'll be rough.
in a very big way with your potential next opponent being either Dark Zero or SSG. Either way, it's going to be an interesting. They got to play off that unpredictability factor. Is going to be my opinion, right? Since obviously, again, they're a team of players that we don't see play at the same level as those other guys. There's not going to be anywhere near as much game tape on them, any VOD review or anything that could have gone on. And as a result of that, if they play really unpredictable, if they play kind of crazy, they could probably get away with a whole lot against teams, even against teams like Dark Zero or SSG.
I agree. So we actually have an interview coming up with a player from Parallax Gaming, the Comeback Kings. Let's go ahead and see who it is. I believe it's Blarn. How you doing?
What up?
How you doing, Blarn?
Doing good.
Good.
How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. So with that big smile, I know that you're happy. We had a talk before this game started, and you're the entry fragger on your team. We saw a specific player go absolutely off every single round. Bravo Dog. What makes him so special on your roster?
All right, so Bravo Dog genuinely is just a really good player, like insane aim. Like, we love him so much, and he always comes up clutch. And the thing with him is our positioning for our entry fraggers. We try to position so they just walk into our kills. Our IGL Crymagic sets up our strats perfect. and then Bravo's either walking in kills and he doesn't lose gunfights. He's dropping like 17, I think, 16.
Yeah.
Like, he's just crazy. Like, I love he's so awesome. He's so cool.
Listen, man, it was 19. Put some respect on his name, all right?
19?
19.
Oh, no.
19 and 9, baby. All right, so you're the entry for your team, okay? You had a pretty slow start, but there were specific rounds where you were able to turn the tide, getting a double, getting a triple, almost getting a quad one time in theater. How important was it that you just kept your head in the game and didn't get tilted, man? Because we saw players like Cry, where he was pretty much, typing in the chat, LOL, and he was just out of his game. How important is it that just stay in there with the right mindset?
Right, so we've been actually having a problem with that lately, is our composure. And every round, even if we lose, we were down like 2 rounds at one point, and I just tell my team, like, it's not over. Like, we got this. We're the better team here. I'm just gonna be honest. We were the better team, and we just had to get our stuff together. And I decided I had to go big. I'm like, I'm getting off Valkyrie, I'm picking Doc, and I'm holding angles in Penthouse, and we just popped off. I'm gonna be honest. So
all right,
it was a good game.
So speaking of popping off, you're gonna have to pop off against the winner of Dark Zero or Space Station Gaming. Listen, I know you're not scared, man. What's your confidence like heading up against a top tier team like this? Do you guys think you have it?
So it's definitely a lot of unpredictability. I'm not going to talk about it because they might be listening, but we have some tricks up our sleeves. But we just got to play our game. We can't be scared just because they're in pro league. We got to play our game, man. That's it.
All right. So listen, Blarn, it's been a pleasure. I love watching you guys play the Comeback Kings. I want to thank you for this interview, man, and good luck for the final game tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate it a lot.
No problem. I love how happy he was.
Yeah.
He gets on camera cheesing. He saw nothing but teeth the entire time.
He's excited, right? They've made it incredibly far, so we're going to have to see how far they can take it. First, let's talk about and confirm our MVPs for me. Already said it, so just going to throw it out there one final time. It's got to be Bravo Dog. The performance we saw from him across the board, his raw clutch capability and playmaking capability went unmatched in that one, so that's going to be my pick.
Oh, well, my pick is going to be Blarn, the man with the wife beater on, okay? So, yes, Bravo Dog was an animal. He was a beast, getting 19 kills, but you're going to have to really keep an eye on the guy who's able to shift the tides of the game when all seems lost. The guy that could step up and get that triple kill, time in and time out, to put your team in the lead. Yeah, his stats wasn't pretty, but he's a game changer. That's my MVP.
All right, folks, and there you have it. There's our picks. Be sure to be letting us know on social media using the hashtag R6USN what you guys thought of these matchups. And don't forget to be signing up online. We've got the next set of open qualifiers starting on Saturday. Same as it does every week, folks, now that the stage has begun. So be sure to go head over to the website at play.r6usnationals.com, where you can find all the information you need on how to get signed up, join a roster, or just follow the games.
Yep, so coming up next, we have 2 heavy hitters, man. I can't wait. Space Station and Dark Zero. Yeah, what's your expectations for this going into it?
It's gonna be really interesting, right? Because both teams are they're in like non-dominant positions right now. Dark Zero obviously getting upset the other day against 92 Dream Team. You gotta put a grain of salt on that because 92 Dream Team came in with like an amazing level of play. Yeah. And when you consider that, that's obviously gonna make.
They're the best team in the game.
Yeah.
I'll argue anybody. Hey, Doodle's a god.
Enough to get an org, it seems, as certain tweets may be alluding to. So. Yeah. We'll see what happens from that. But you can see the stats as well from some of our MVP picks here. Bravo Dog with a 19-9 ratio, cost percentage at 64%, which is very good. Entries, a little bit here or there, but like we said, we were seeing him making more late-round plays more than anything else. I think your MVP might do a little bit better in the entry department, personally.
I'm not even sure if he had good entry stats, to be quite honest, because, I mean, hey, he wasn't the best entry guy. But yeah, Bravo going 19-9, that's insane. But you know what? Next match coming right up. I know you guys in the chat, you're ready for it. I'm ready for it. I know Blue's excited. We're going to have Space Station Gaming and Dark Zero coming up after this short break.